Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast episode 694. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod. I got nothing, Corey.
Hello?
There you go.
Ahoy! I
And
made
and
it.
Tony Korkanakis.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to episode 694 of the Gamecast. Whew. We just had the movie cast. Talked a lot about Fallout, the series, which I will no spoilers here. I just loved. So go check out that episode if you haven't didn't check us out live. It's over on YouTube. Once again, we're on Twitch.
Yeah.
Tuesday nights,
Lucy
8
Chick
o'clock,
actually plays or voices Jinx also. She was more video game crossover.
Yeah.
There you go.
Team.
Cool. Yeah, I forgot she did that work. Yeah. So and
It's
and,
funny,
and they released her stats for those characters over moving
She,
into this episode.
It's funny because you were talking about how much you hate Fallout 4. Tony in the movie cast, she has only played Fallout 4. That was her research. So,
That's fine.
but
Nice.
I mean, I think the game is fine. It's not.
No, I mean it's fine.
I mean, it's not great.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Like when you compare it to other Fallout games, that's the thing.
No,
It's
there-
what are you
there's
gonna
things. There's things about
best.
it, yeah, that are steps backward that are.
Like I still
Yeah.
enjoyed my time with the game. I wouldn't say it's bad. Like like if somebody was like, "You play this game again or you die," I'd be like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it." Like, I'm not gonna
Well,
refuse. But out of all the Fallout games, like the mainline ones, that is clearly the last for me. So
Right. Especially since it's like more disappointing too, because it's coming off the heels of 3 and New Vegas.
New
So
Vegas,
it's like
right? Yeah, no,
like,
I just
what
felt
the
like the
How do
the
you
whole
go
like
the wrong
special,
way?
like, oh, we got to voice all this dialogue, so that means you're gonna have less choices for role playing and stuff like that. Where it's like, and I think too, like, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. Where like this game in particular, I could be wrong, but like when you like read an option to respond, you're like, okay, that's a reasonable one, but then you select it, and your character says something
That's the
Yeah.
problem. Was I have with that
kind
game.
of completely
Yep.
different. I'm like, whoa,
Completely
that
different.
is not what I said, dude. Like
That was the issue I had with that game.
right?
There was.
Yeah, that was
There
the
was
issue.
just like. Yes,
Thank you for reminding me
no.
because I forgot.
No, because
I
it
forgot
did-
why I
it
hated
broke-
that game. That was it.
it broke down to yes, no, I don't know, or joke,
Yeah.
or be
Yeah.
slash be an asshole.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, after that series, like I'm thinking, like maybe I could give Fallout 4 another try with the upgrades, but I'm like, no, that's why I hated that game. That's why the biggest thing. I'm like, I didn't say anything like that.
I don't even think the voice protagonist is a problem because once we learned like how quickly voice actors get done with what they do on a game, if you can write something, you can voice it. So it's just they just didn't want to do a lot.
Well,
feel
yeah,
like.
I mean that's the thing is like you have to figure every voice you add to the game just has a lot of ripples because first of all you have to do it twice, for male and female. Then all the international language that you have to do. So like it's not like you can just easily be
That's
like,
true.
oh, like we could like if it was text file, it was like, oh well, we can add this and at any point in time before we ship the game. Whereas like voice is like now we got to contract this fucking guy to come back in here. And like then again, you gotta like worry about like scheduling stuff. It's like, oh well, my rates and I don't have the time. It's like god, like don't get me wrong. I think voice is a good addition to all, but I just think for the first time, with all that, it was.
Churro, chime in. Thank you for joining us again, Churro. Yeah, it wasn't. That may have been a little Fallout, but I do remember that in Wolf Among Us. If you buy you a drink and it means throw a drink in their face, yeah. Yeah.
But at least
That-
that's
that's
kind of
like-
funny, where it's like, okay, well, there's not that many options. Like Fallout's like, it's like okay, like I specifically want to say this thing. Yes, like don't tell me in
'Cause
a role playing
yeah.
game, I'm gonna say this and then change it up on me. It's like that's
Right,
not
because
what I
it's
said.
more. It was like more specific too. It's like you're saying something in the you're reading something in the text file. It's not more like a lot of times it's more the mood, like how you feeling about this. It's like,
Yeah.
and then the character will elaborate on that feeling or whatever instead
Yeah.
of like you're thinking you're gonna say this one sentence, but then it turns into something completely.
Yeah, you're like,
different.
wait, whoa, where are you going, buddy? This is not
Usually-
me. This is not me. This is some
Yeah.
weirdo speaking right now. This is not me.
Right. Usually they'll at least like follow in line with what you think you're gonna do, and but
Mhm.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, that was
Anyway.
jarring. I remember that. But anyways,
it is in a lot of games.
yeah, it is. It is. It was jarring in Fallout 4. I'll say that. That's what I'll say it is. All right, so what have we been up to? I'll kick us off. Finally, Cyberpunk. I've been diving more into that, and it finally I felt like in the beginning I was full disclosure, I thought it was like overwhelming with a lot of different things going on in that game. I was like, I'm not getting this at all. There's like hacking, there's stealth, there's regular combat, there's driving like stuff happening with combat, there's there's the brain hacking stuff, right? I mean, I was like, there's a ton going on, and I'm like, but then by the time you finish like all of that, like I guess it does finally like set in. They kind of merge together because I'm into it now, and I'm kind of picking up. I just play it the way I want to, either
That's
way.
fine.
It doesn't
That's
really
perfect.
matter.
That's great.
Like yeah, I mean, like they introduced this, and you could try this, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do my thing. Thank you though. But so like I know what I can just talk about like the earlier mission. uh there was I have to do something with this guy Dex in the beginning of the game where he makes you go and get this chip. Well, I ended up just shooting the place up and just taking them all out essentially as I went through it, rather than like try to weasel my way through. I even killed the main guy at the end in his mech suit. And I don't know, I just felt like the way I want to play the game. Like I'm not going to negotiate with people at all. I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'm gonna fight you. I did it with the cops too. The police. I accidentally did it. I didn't mean to kill somebody.
This is sounding like Baldur's Gate 3 all over again.
Well, because I pressed the wrong button and I threw a grenade and it killed somebody, and I was like, oh shit, and then the cop showed up. I'm like, oh, this is like Grand Theft Auto, and I'm like, okay, so I just kept killing people, and I'm like, I gotta just hide for like, yeah, I just kept killing people. So I'm like, I'm just gonna hide for a bit and let that go away. One of the cops found me in my little hiding spot, so I had to shoot him and kill him too. But everybody else stopped looking after a while. But yeah, so this is how my playthroughs work on these open world games. Because I'll try to just do my own thing. And yeah, Troy, you're right. That poor village.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fun though. I do see this. I don't know what the first version of this game was like, where everybody hated it, but I'm like, I'm enjoying it. I understand that it's very, very
phenomenal
technical.
game. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I do remember. I mean, the core was there, but the cops were way dumber, and there was no arcade games, and there was no like weapons with the vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just driving.
I mean,
vehicular combat.
I definitely feel you though, Jim, because like I was playing it and you kill somebody and the cop shows up. Oh, whatever, I'll just take the cop out, and then they just keep coming. I'm like, wait,
you're like,
why?
stop,
They just keep coming. Like,
I
took out
killed
your
you.
entire
You're
squad.
done. Yeah, I
Your
know.
whole
Like,
squad
you're
is
done,
out.
guys.
Why are you guys still coming after me?
They
keep
reworked
coming out.
that. They reworked that substantially, because originally they just would like spawn like 50 feet away from you and just be there, and
Yeah.
Oh,
you just
okay.
had to sort of wait it. I don't know. You had to just keep moving, and then they would slowly go away.
Yeah,
This
I found
one,
some stairwell.
you
I found some
can
stairwell.
more
and just
realistically hide and like as they come from further. So yeah, that's definitely an improvement. Yeah, but no, I mean,
Yep.
the game.
I mean, all the
It's good.
abilities and stuff were overhauled, from my understanding.
Yeah. Okay.
With all the
So-
upgrades and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like I said, I was talking to my one friend who she had played it literally right before the expansion came out. So I was telling her, like, oh, this is really cool. She's like, yeah, that wasn't in the base game. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, anything good I'm saying, you're like, yeah, that wasn't in the... It's like, okay. Just help me solidify my choice that I made the right one.
Yeah. No, it's good though. So that's it for me though. Like I said, I watched a lot of Fallout on the movie cast. So, all right, Tony.
Let's see. Started up a new BG3 multiplayer game with a friend.
Ooh,
Nice.
So I'm just playing it. Like, my first playthrough, I'm more like, I will play it how I want to play it. Like, I'll play it mostly straight, because that typically is like the way to see the most content, right? It's like, oh, you're not making enemies of every faction, so obviously
You're not locking yourself out of certain quest lines, and
right, exactly. So now I am a Dark Urge warlock, and it's just like people look at me the wrong way. I am just being like, and there are new dialogue options now, where it's like, if somebody's pushing back on you, they're like there's an option where it's like you like start to think about them dying painfully and slowly before your eyes and stuff like that. I'm like, oh shit, okay, like this is some Shadow the Hedgehog kind of stuff here, like the fucking Edge, man. Like,
Hold a gun.
Yeah. So that's been interesting, and like I finally recruited Will, because as you guys know, I did not recruit Will that first time. I literally saw him in that cutscene and totally just ran by him in the Druid circle. I was like, you could recruit that guy? How was I supposed to know? I don't know. Like, there's nothing that was like, talk to this NPC and you can recruit him. It's like, and he never showed up at my camp, so I was like, well, don't know, man. Don't know.
Cool.
I do think that game seems like a second playthrough is the way to sort of like appreciate how fluid it is.
Mhm.
Because
I mean,
I
that's
played
yeah.
because I hear all these things. I played through it once, and the defining aspect of my playthrough was I tried to be good, tried to save everyone, but my actual allies all died. Not all died, but so many of them died
I mean,
for silly
you,
reasons.
look, man, you can't break an omelet. Make an omelet without breaking some eggs. I almost messed the whole saying up, but that's the way I always looked at that game. I'm like, sacrifices.
Including like I said, Lizelle, who I've never recruited and was just
But
dead
like
in the
you
road.
could, you can bring them back though, right?
I couldn't.
Yeah.
No, not they didn't.
Wait.
They didn't count. I've talked about this
I
before. Corey's
forget.
gonna get upset. So Lizelle, I never even recruited. She
Yeah,
was
yeah,
never
yeah.
part
No,
of
no,
my
I
Oh.
camp.
remember that. Yeah.
She was dead. And then same. Jahira died before she was part of my group in a fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You can't
I
just
took
res. I thought you could just res random with your items though.
not well. I didn't have items to do that at the time. That
Oh,
was
at the
still
time.
early.
Yeah, I don't
That
know
was
if you don't recruit them, but like once you recruit them, even if they die, like you just go talk to Withers, and he's
No,
like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah,
I
I'll
know
get them
that.
back."
I
Okay,
know,
wasn't
but
sure.
that didn't happen. And then
Yeah.
the other death was, I swear, a glitch where Haslin was rescued and became this like the fifth party member for a while. And since he was kidnapped, he was under leveled considerably. But I couldn't dismiss him from being this weird in between party member but not party member. So he died in hell and he was gone forever.
Died in hell.
He
If
died
you die in
our,
hell, that's like super dead. Like
well,
you're
no,
just
he
gone.
died. He died during our assault
Especially
on
that guy.
hell. He
That
died
guy.
during our assault on hell, and I went back to Withers, and he's like, "What are you talking about? There's no one else." I'm like,
What are
"God,
you
fucking damn it!" So yeah, I lost 3 potential actually, and the other guy who's a legacy character died instantly because I couldn't
Oh,
because Jahira was dead.
Jahira's friend,
her-
the barbarian.
His friend, he's like, I'm gonna kill
Mint.
you. I'm like,
Mint.
I guess we gotta kill him too. So
That's
yeah.
all right, man. It just adds to your character. Like you got your story, you got your ending. That's
I know,
it.
no,
It
I
adds
got
it
a
adds
story. I got what I considered a pretty good ending, but
Yeah.
for people, I guess legends for the D&D fans are all dead.
I mean, as
Whatever.
X-Men
I
97
don't
is
know
teaching
D&D.
us, nobody's safe.
Nobody's.
Yep.
So, but yeah, cool. All right, where were we? That was so.
I'm
Anything
really
else, Tony? That's
playing-
it. That was it. Okay.
No more.
Corey?
You didn't start Unicorn Overload? Or?
No, I Fallout took like all my like free time, so that was like,
Gotcha.
oh.
Yeah,
Corey?
no. For me, like
You're
the
playing cards.
Star
You're
Wars
playing cards.
TCG.
You're playing cards. I knew you.
Yep, it's got its hooks in me, man. It's bad.
I will say
super
that.
bad.
I will say
Like,
that I did.
oh,
I did
man.
go on a little bit of a look to see if I could find some of those cards, and you're
You
it's
can't
tough.
find them right
Yeah.
now.
No, I have
It's
some
pretty
contacts,
crazy.
but
And
I have some. I can't find them. Yeah.
Yeah, the pricing is just ridiculous on this
Yeah.
stuff too now. Like they're more than double what they were when they first came out. So I've been playing
It's
a
the
lot
hot
of
game.
cards, and
It's a stock market,
just-
man.
Yeah,
It'll come
I'm
down.
looking. I've been looking for like different places that have like events and stuff like that around me, and there's a couple places, so I checked them out, and it's interesting. It's like it's an interesting scene because they actually ask you for your Star Wars ID when you like sign up for like an event. So you have to go online and create the ID, and then they like plug it in and stuff. So it's like I don't know what this is for, but they track all that information, I guess.
Wins and losses, man. Get you a record.
Yeah, I think they want stats on like they want to see what people play too, like the decks that people make and like what leaders are popular and stuff. But it's been like so much fun to just get in from the ground floor and mess around with different decks and different types of decks. Like you have, as Magic players know, you have your control aggro and like mid-range decks and stuff, and to see how they play and the idea of what this game is and how it works is just so much fun. Just like the back and forth is so much more tactical than like with Hearthstone. Just do your whole thing and then wait for them to do their whole thing, and then you go back
See
and
who
forth like
comes out
this.
on top.
Yep, and
Tell you,
this
man.
going back and forth stuff is like super cool to see. Because
Wherever the
like you
counter,
know that they can do something, but it's like, can I stop it? Like, can I delay long enough to get this thing out? And it's like pretty fun.
whatever the counter spell equivalent is, build that. So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Mike.
I've been playing more of the show, and also another Game Pass sports game on a whim. I decided to play the like PGA Tour game they had on there. I haven't played a golf game, like a sim golf game, in a long time. But it's actually one of my first Games was a golf game like PGA something on the Sega Genesis. So
Golden
it's always
tea, man. Golden tea.
it wasn't that, but it was fun to go back and despite having modern EA bullshit and like a store all over the place, it's still fun. I just go in there, my created Ass Jack character, and try to not be 8 over, which happened once, but
Is that the one done by EA or is that another company?
yeah, it's
Because not Tiger
yeah,
Woods anymore. I know that. I just
Mhm.
yeah,
forgot what
they
named it.
they dropped his name. This one was just like the Masters or something
Yeah,
PGA
yeah.
Tour. I don't know. It was like last year's golf game, which is fine. I haven't played
Mm.
one of
Okay.
these in like 20 years, so it's interesting. Little Game Pass thing for me to do. And I also played a little X-Men Legends too with my brother actually when he came over for a little bit. So we did some local X-Men Legends too, which is always good. Even though I've sort of fallen off that game a little bit, but with a
Burned
second
yourself
player,
out, man. You flew too close to the sun.
yeah, no, yeah, but with a second player, it's a whole other thing. So that was fun for a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'll plan to play it now, and he's not around. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see what we got for the news this week. There was a little lighter on the news, but also some bad news. We'll just kick it off with the bad news first. So Take-Two plans to lay off 5% of its workforce and cancel several projects in development as part of cost-cutting measures.
Cool.
That's the industry right now, and nobody's safe.
Take-Two owns like everything, right?
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
I mean,
They have
2K, right? They have
GTA.
2K. You have GTA coming,
Mhm.
They just bought
which we're just
Gearbox.
they just bought Gearbox. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
So, and this is not that because of that purchase too. This is, cost-cutting measures. As you buy somebody. I think that's just crazy.
I forget if we talked about it on the news a week or two ago, but apparently Take Two started trying to pull people back into offices for the crunch development part of Grand Theft Auto
GTA 5, GTA 6,
6.
6. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It's just kind of after a decade of
Yeah.
saying GTA 5 is just habit.
yeah.
That even with that mandate and stuff like that, that it may slip beyond Q1 of
I did see that. Yeah.
2025, and it kind of tanked the stock a little bit. So it's just like, I wonder if that had anything to do with it, right? Because I mean, it's all about appeasing the shareholders, unfortunately. So
It just, like I said, but it's just timing wise. You just bought a company, spending cash, and then you fire people, you lay people off, the low people, not the big people that matter.
well, you
like
never
the
know.
low
I mean,
people.
look at Blizzard. I mean, they gutted even
That's true.
veterans, right?
We don't know what
people
the
that
names
were
are
there
yet,
since
so.
the beginning. So you never know.
It's not usually executives that are making millions. It's
No,
the
no,
low level stuff. Yeah.
no.
So.
But yeah, I mean, low. I would say low level is anybody that's not a C-level executive. It's on the chopping block.
Yeah, so we'll see more about that unfortunate news. And unfortunately, it's like every month, every few weeks, we're talking about this in this industry right now. So it's not even every month; it's every few weeks. It's probably twice a month, almost right now. So, we mentioned Fallout on our movie cast. The Fallout games. We also mentioned this on the movie cast. Fallout games have gotten a nice uptick. So, what was it like? The Fallout games. Oh, it helps that they're on sale like crazy right now. The timing of it is great. They've surged in popularity across all platforms. On Steam, the concurrent player numbers doubled overnight, while console players on Play Tracker increased about 50% on average. So that's Fallout 76, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas. It's impressive. Fallout series is, and we were just talking about can't wait for Fallout 5 news. We want to hear some
Did
Fallout
they
5
list
stuff.
numbers in that link?
Yeah. They're not list. Oh, I'm sorry. They did. Sorry, I'm bringing it open here. 18,000. Hang on. Come on. Let me open the link. Sorry. Did not have the link open. I was reading the news. Yeah, so they had Fallout 76, 18,000 concurrent players. Fallout 4, 40,000 concurrent. And Fallout New Vegas, 9,000 concurrent. It's pretty good. Considering these games, how old are these games now? That's impressive. At least Fallout 76 is more like newer, but like Fallout 4 got a bump like crazy.
Well, unfortunately, that's the latest mainline Fallout. So
Yeah. Mike, what was your favorite Fallout?
Probably 3. Although 3 and New Vegas blur together in my mind. Like, I literally confuse some of the quests from being one and the other, but
Yeah.
probably 3. I mean, 3
I
was
think I
also the
gotta.
first one.
I think I gotta play New Vegas. I think it's got. I gotta play this game. So I never played it. So
My
It's
my thing
$5.
about New
It's $5.
Yeah, I know.
Vegas
Mhm.
was I never actually finished the story because I heard it was like a hard ending, and I'm like, I don't want to give up everything I've earned.
Wait, what?
So I never finished New Vegas the story because I heard it was a hard ending, you know. So I didn't want to do that.
So you just never beat the game.
No, I'm actually I think I dropped off somewhere in the middle of like one of the DLCs.
You both need to fucking play this game. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you guys?
I mean, I put hundreds of hours into the game. I just never wanted to beat it because I didn't want to have a hard ending. I wanted to have my guy just keep getting stuff.
there you go. I may be
I mean,
clicking
you
through
had no
buying. I
problem
may be
with
buying it right now
Cyberpunk
while we're on
and-
the podcast.
You had no problem with Cyberpunk and Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Yeah, well, I think at the time, like, that was like one of the only like big RPG open world games I were playing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I don't want my character to like stop. So
Yeah, well, now
I-
you could go back and start and finish the fight.
Is Fallout New Vegas actually
guess.
only $2.50?
Yeah, but 5 is for all the DLC. There's an ultimate collection.
Oh shit, got it. Okay, I may be picking that up right now.
You.
All right. Yeah. So let's see what else we got in the news. Yeah, I'm buying that. I bought that right now. So Fallout New Vegas, it's happening. For that price, absolutely. Ex Blizzard boss suggests players should be okay. Let me reread this one. Sorry. Ex Blizzard boss suggests players should be able to tip devs of special games. So Mike Ibarra tweeted out that he's often felt that upon completion of a particular enjoyable single-player game, he'd like to give more money to the developers because it's worth more than my initial $70, and they didn't try to nickel and dime me, so he could see a tip system in place. Yeah. No, I don't know about that. I get the fact of not having like the forced like purchases in the games and stuff like that. I get that idea, but I feel like that wouldn't go to the developers that actually made the game. Am I wrong in saying that?
I mean,
No, I can
probably
understand
not,
that
but-
feeling. It'd be nice to know where your money's going, and
But I also-
to be able to, compensate the people that make the thing that you appreciate. Because when you do
No,
that,
I
you
mean,
get more
like,
of
yeah.
what you get. No, but it's just
Like,
if you
I
know it
understand
goes
where
to
you're
them.
coming from. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think it would
But then-
offset costs in general, though, a little bit. I mean, this is probably not functionally a good idea, but I'm not like on the Reddit like side of this where everyone's like, "Oh, tipping culture out of control. You got to be kidding me, Blizzard guy. Like, burn him at the stake."
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not opposed to that.
I kind of understand the thought, but I don't know if it would work in reality. But
No, but it's not going to offset the cost of the games. This is a tip to the people making the game themselves. Like, this isn't going to go into the pockets of the shareholders. That's the idea. That's
well,
my point.
I mean, the
Like,
thing is,
that's
how
my
do you
point.
even implement that? Like, how do you?
I don't know about that.
How do you do that?
Well,
Right?
That's
Right,
my
and
point.
how-
That's
like,
what I'm saying, Tony. Like, how do
don't
you
do that
know
without-
that this money's going there? Yeah.
right. You can't do it and absolutely know
See-
unless you're just PayPaling people directly. It's like you can't know it's going to the people that deserve it.
I don't even look at it that way though. I look at it like
That's-
it would be something that would make the budgets less in the red in general. So
But it's not going to
I don't
those
see it that
budgets.
way.
That's the idea.
It's like in
going to
the in like the
people.
restaurant business. It's like, they're paying their workers less because they know they're getting tipped. And it's like
No,
that's
man,
not how.
That's
it's-
the
it's
problem.
basically
Will
that's
that
not how-
adjust salaries too? Like, yeah, I mean, Churro mentioned here in the chat. Thank you. Oh, people tipping $10. Does that mean they are willing to have paid $80 for the game? Yeah, I mean that could change that mindset too. But like, I think games themselves, I understand the $70 limit right now for people. I get it, but I do think that they're still underpriced and do need to go up at some point. I'm not saying like they need to go up now, but at some point they have to go up again,
See,
just because cost of manufacturing. But tipping is not going to fix the cost of manufacturing because it's tipping the people that are making the game, not giving money to the people who are producing the game. Like they're paying for the game.
Right. Not to mention, I mean, here's the thing. Modern, and it really depends on the scope of the game, because an indie game where it may have like 10, 50, $100, that's different than a AAA blockbuster title that's going to have between 3 and 1,000 people, right? And especially when you factor in contractors or studios that were brought in just to do
how do you even do that?
Right,
exactly. Do that? Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, I want to tip them $10. Cool. What's $10 divided by 1,000 people, Mike Ibarra?
Well, the idea is like if you get a couple million people tipping $10.
Yeah, I mean you're selling.
Okay, how many tips do you need
copies
of $10 before anybody even sees $1?
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
Spider-Man
a good point too.
2 have benefited from this? Not be breaking even?
Again, like the problem is what is this money
it's
going?
Not changing that. It's not changing that dollar.
No,
but it's not changing that dollar.
If you're going
straight, it's supposed to go. Yeah, it's supposed to go straight to the pockets of the people making the game, not to the people paying for the game. It's not changing the profitability of the game. That's what he's saying. Right here. I'm sorry, I hit my camera.
Is that what he's
I'm
saying?
getting angry.
Or it just goes to the profit in general of the game, and hopefully it gets where it's supposed to the devs.
Right, and again, like
either way,
Tony was saying, like the numbers just don't add up as far as like how many people are working on. Like Bungie has 700 employees or something like that, right? Like eventually,
if that anymore.
But... And then you talk about all the the outside contractors that are going to be involved and stuff. It's just you can't guarantee like that money's gonna go. So like, what are they gonna get? A check for 3 cents at the end of the day after all said and done? It's like it's gonna cost more to print that check than it is to the people who are gonna be paid for it.
Right, and then not to
mention it's what's unfortunate because
and then you're adding to the finance, right? Because you have to have somebody do this, right? And then now
somebody's got to put the work in.
They got to report that, and that's tax. It's stupid. It's just stupid. And Mike Ibarra is a rich fucking dude, and he should know better than to fucking open his mouth and say something this stupid.
I mean, it's a nice thought. Like
it's a nice thought, right?
I would love to be able to compensate the people that are actually making the thing that I enjoy. That's what I would like to do.
Hey,
and you do that by buying the game, but
this is also the same guy. Yeah.
I just said like maybe what you can do is have like, hey, like the developers get a percentage of the sales and stuff like that. So if you sell more,
that is
you
absolutely
make more.
The first step that should happen is developers should get a percentage of profits. Absolutely, just like real actors get
and royalties or whatever.
Royalties, right?
It's like
absolutely. But this is coming from the same guy that when the WoW team developed an entire fucking expansion during the pandemic. Pulled them all back to the office mandatory and then fired half of them and stuff like that. So fuck Mike Ibarra, shut the fuck up, just fucking ride off the sunset. I never want to hear from you again.
I'm good with that. So all right. Lastly in the news, we've got Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3. Good news is it looks like they're going to try to keep the same development cycle. So the story has been completed for it. They think they'll start doing some voice recording in the near future. And by hopefully retaining the same people that created the Part 2, they can produce this game in about the same amount of time. So you're looking, 2027 for Part 3?
Yeah, the hope right now among the community is that they can meet 2027 because that'll be the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. So,
okay. So that's really going to push for that. Yeah,
it'll be really nice and, kind of, I guess, I don't know, poetic. Or
it's supposed to, that's going to close it out. That'll close it out too. Yeah. That's the last part, right?
Right.
Part 3?
Right, absolutely, and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is the good thing. So, just to talk, kind of like, I guess, follow up on what we were just talking about. In Japan, and the reason you don't hear about mass layoffs with the Japanese companies is because their laws are structured differently. Like, literally, if you want to fire people in Japan, you have to prove, like, it was unavoidable in you firing that person, and that you took every possible step and measure to avoid that. So
I think it's also in Europe too. It's not just happens in it's.
I mean, it does
in Japan as well. Yeah, but they
Europe
have to have
better
reasonable.
Than America, but Japan is better than Europe in that regard. So, like, for example, like if Square Enix wanted to fire people, they would have to go and be like, hey, we tried this, and this, including like C-level compensation. You're talking about like budget cuts, this, that, and the other thing before firing the base level workers, right? So in Japan, you don't see that much turnover to begin with, which is good. And a benefit of this is that when you wrap up a big game like Rebirth or before that Remake, you don't just go, yeah, well, now the game's over. Fuck you guys. Half of you are fucking gone. You know, and a quarter of you are contractors, so you don't have a job anymore and stuff like that. There, it's okay, cool. We're done with that. Now we're working on part 3, right? So they can just onboard the same people, like 95% of those people are working on the same game. So they know everything. They know, you know, the team managers, they know the leads, they know, you know, the art department, this and the other thing. Everybody knows what they have to do. So it's just like, okay, cool. Like you're just continuing to work on the new product and stuff like that. So it's not like the AAA of Western development where it's like, cool, you worked on, you know, Halo Infinite. Fuck off now. Like goodbye.
Yeah, we got to retool for the next one. Yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, no, it's interesting. Hopefully they make the timeline. Then that's a perfect ending for it. So that'll work. Hopefully we'll see. Yeah. More as that goes. All right, I think that's gonna be it. Did I miss anything?
Double check. Forbes had reported that the Destiny 3 may be in development, codename Payback.
Ooh.
So that'll be interesting because right now Destiny 2 is very hard to get into as a player.
I mean,
and I played it for the first like 6 years of his life.
No, forget about hard to get into, hard to get back into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, does anybody want a Destiny 3, right?
So maybe. I get Corey's complaints because like that happened with WoW, with these kind of online service game stuff. Like you fall behind, you can't get back into it.
Well, that's
so like by restarting, you
WoW
can grab.
It's so easy to get into
again.
Nowadays. You can.
Yeah, I know, but they fixed that. You're right. Yeah.
They haven't done.
Yeah, they fixed that.
So maybe this is what they need to do to fix this game. I don't know, but it feels dated at this point.
Absolutely feels dated. And the thing is, you know, just like I said with you know, like most recently Suicide Squad, right? By the time you know, have a like, hey, we're going to work on Destiny 3, right? It's not just like you wake up one morning, you're like, guys, I had a brilliant idea. It's Destiny 3. It's like, yeah, okay. And it's like,
oh, hey,
cool, we're gonna
get that out in 6 months, right, guys?
Right. It's like we're gonna get this out in like 2-3 years. It'll be good. It's no, okay. We have to project. Okay, when is Destiny 2 ending development, and when can we start Destiny 3 development? So there's not too long of a gap between Destiny 2's final expansion and Destiny 3, right? So now you have to be like, okay, well, shit. Now we gotta have to divide our team in half or a quarter at least, and send those people on pre-production to work on, you know, art, world, you know, storytelling, character building, all that kind of stuff. Right, because they need to do that work ahead of time, right, before the artists can do their work and before the, you know, people making the assets and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a quarter of the team.
Again, you're talking 5 years out. So they either had to have already started Destiny 3 pre-development, which I assume they did. If there's a rumor out there, Bungie people like to fucking talk to people. They can't keep their mouths shut. But if they were going off a 2 or 3 year old data, which was like, you're thinking like pandemic era, like, oh look, everybody's doing great. All these numbers are juiced. We're awesome. People are going to be like foaming at the mouth to play a fucking online game that, you know, needs to take X many hours out of your time every week. Like, that is not good data to go by in 2024, right? As we've seen, like Suicide Squad, like absolute failure, right? So by the time Destiny 3 comes out, let's say 2 to 3 years from now, I don't know. I'm just
3. Probably 3. Right? Yes.
3? I'm just spitballing that. Are people going to want that business model still?
You can't project it. You don't have no idea where it's going to be in 3 years.
I mean, look at Marvel Rivals we talked about before.
Exactly.
It feels like missed its timing. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do it and if they can learn from the lessons, because they did not learn anything from Destiny 2.
We said that. That was the biggest gripe going from 1 to 2. They just
the one thing that is going to be interesting for me is that they are now owned by Sony. So Sony's going to have their fingers in all of this.
Hold up, Corey. I just want to make sure I understand you correctly. So you're saying the people that own and lead Bungie that went from Microsoft owned to independent but contracted to Activision to independent to being owned by Sony don't know what they're doing.
I'm just saying that people haven't learned from their prior mistakes.
I'm just making sure everyone understands the timeline of the past, like, 15 years of Bungie leadership here. Mm-hmm. I'm agreeing that I don't think they know what they're doing.
And we've seen like people coming in and out like as well too.
Absolutely.
So it's like
I think even Jason Schreier had a thing like he does a newsletter on Fridays and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But he had something about how prior to the most recent layoffs at Bungie, like they're just like, yeah, X many people tried being like, how does this work? How does this work? Like you keep saying these things. How is these numbers gonna work out? And they're like, don't worry, trust us. Bungie magic, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no Bungie magic anymore. Sorry, you used it all
No.
up.
No, so
Yeah, it'll be. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
all right.
Yep.
That's going to wrap up this episode of the Gamecast, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We are live Twitch Tuesday nights. Please join us for these broadcasts. If you missed them live, always on YouTube though. So go on over there, check us out over there. Subscribe to both channels. That way you know when we go live or post. We'll see you guys next week. We are out.